Let's get my ugly face on again, shall we? Evening, everyone. Welcome to round 16. I think I've just typed round 16 CPT2 at everybody's favourite in Monaco tonight. Got another driver previously in tier 2, Ben. I'm assuming you mean Welsh Benjamin. To be honest, it's a bit late joining now to race. And without being rude, if I remember correctly, he did have a seat before and then just left without telling us anything what he was doing. So, you know, if he wants to come back, that's fine, but he's going to have to go through getting set up again, which obviously will be too late for today. I will have a quick look through the standings before we get on to qualifying. So, is Verstappen a new leader? I can't remember if he's a new leader or not, but anyway, Verstappen now sat in front, 170 points. I think that's the biggest lead anyone has had in this championship so far. 17.5 points ahead of Marshall, who of course is not racing today, so won't be able to close that gap down. Scarito's still very much there on 149 points. Zurek in 4th on 135.5, the former championship leader for a long time. Dan Roush just behind him in P5 on 132. We've got Hyder in 6th on 115. Curley in 7th on 111, just running 8th on 92, Hepburn in 9th on 73, DXT Matty in 10th on 60, Fake Jesus in 11th on 54, HK in 12th on 35, I've lost myself, Viper in 13th on 32, but obviously as I'd stepped down from a full-time role, Kane in 14th on 12, Spinot in 15th on 6, Zeb did one race with his Course Chaos and then left, because apparently nobody's good enough for him. Camo in 17th on 1 point, and Ian Brooks and Fox are still yet to score. Have a quick look at the team standings, and then we'll get going. Red Bull now very much clear out in front, 319.5 points. Well, what are they? Over 130 points in the lead now over McLaren, so really commanding lead at this point. Still races to go, but they're going to take some catching now. Haas very much in the battle for P2, as are Alfa Romeo, so 14 points covering second down to 4th in the constructors. Alpine sat in 5th on 149, Ferrari in 6th on 141.5, Williams in 7th on 112, Mercedes in 8th on 62, Alfa Tauri in 9th on 40, and Aston Martin in 10th on 12. So flip back to this for a minute. I think we've got everyone we're going to have, so yeah, you might as well ready up. Anyone who's listening, we might as well get on with it. Everybody's here, so I will send out a ready up message just for everyone to see. We might as well get on with it, get this thing rolling. I know Monaco isn't many people's favourite track, but it's one of them things. It's part of the season. There is opportunity for very good points. If you can just survive and everyone else bins it, it can be a pretty straightforward win without having to be that competitive around here. So we'll flick over to my live so we can actually keep an eye on what's going on. We'll just have a little wait for things to get underway. If anyone could let me know what the weather's due to be, that would be useful. If you get the chance. I can shift this keyboard off my lap actually now. Give myself a little bit more space to work with. I'm sorry, everything seems to have been very last minute today. Like I didn't even get my stream up. I forgot to do it. It's just been an absolute manic week. And I'm glad to see the end of it, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to this weekend, but hopefully we'll kick it off with a less boring than usual Monaco to watch. Let's put it that way. A bit of chaos would be nice, but I don't want to see everybody crash out and have one car going round. So quali is now officially underway. So we get the track map up, we will get some lap data up. and then we'll wait. I'll be entertainment for you. You're always the entertainment for me, mate. Whenever you're in a race, Zodak, there's always some sort of fun. Dry all weekend, okay. Well, that's a little bit of a saving grace for you all then, if you're not going to have to deal with heavy rain around Monaco. Somebody want to go out? Anybody want to venture out? I know you don't like Monaco, but you got to put some laps in, mate. I can see a McLaren. It's Hepburn. Hepburn, Mr. Spin, wing killer himself, is the first out on track. We survived the first sector on his out. Oh, was it? Nearly it was. So we've got a few more cars out on track now. Scorito's out. We've got Just Run out. We have Viper out, sporting his new name. We've also got the other McLaren in Hyder out on track as well. I'll be surprised if we don't see a crash. We've not got a night race. No, why would it be a night race? Am I missing something? Hepburn managed to negotiate sector 1 with no major issues. I think getting a bank lap in here is really important. Just not having an incident allows you to push a bit more later on. They're very clean. Oh, a little bit deep. But does look as though he'll survive a lap. So it kicks us off. It's going to be a 1 minute 12.5 exactly. Got yellow flags. I think that's just a slow moving Alfa Romeo. Oh, Scorito's out. Oh, Scorito is the first one to bin it. Just Run's going to have to be careful because his car's right in the middle of the road. And he's had to bail a little bit. It's just disappeared now. Just Run will finish his lap. 1:14.1, but definitely got compromised. Viper's going to finish a lap. It's slow, it's a 1 minute 23.0. I think Hyder's bailed into the pits. Zodak on an outlap. Hepburn's. Yeah, so Zodak and HKM are both on outlaps. Nobody on a fast lap as we speak. You can have night race around Monaco now. I think you can have night races everywhere now, can't you? I don't know. We just set it to official and let it go as it would be. Hepburn's really slow. Viper got in my way. It looked like you were close. I don't know if you were distracted by Scorito's smashed up car, to be fair, either. I think you were trying to figure out what were going on in front. Ooh, Zodak's gone deep. We've got... Oh, what was that? Oh, Just Run's binned it. Just Run's... What? Just Run's hit the wall on the way into the chicane. Zodak's just clipped a wall as well. He's lost the end of a wing. Zodak will cross the line. It's 149. Did run with half a wing for the last few corners. HKM 121.6. Have we got anybody on a lap? I don't think so. Plenty on outlaps. I think Verstappen's going to be the first to start. Oh, Heide's staying out of the way. So Verstappen starting his first attempt. Current championship leader. Be looking to extend that today and avoid any calamities. Ooh, very close to the wall. It's showing purple through sector 1. Not sure how much truth there is in that, but it did look pretty quick. Heading now through the tunnel on the run down to arguably the trickiest little corner on the circuit to not invalidate. And does invalidate. I cursed him. Sorry, Verstappen. Fate Jesus next on the road then. Does get through there without invalidating. So coming to the end of sector 2 through the swimming pool. Nice and neat. Just the last corner to navigate on the run to the line. It's looking like a decent lap time. So it's a 112.9. So Fate Jesus goes up into P2, 4/10 off Hepburn. Gap between second and third currently at 1.2. Obviously, Just Run not going to improve. Zodak starting P4. So Kane had Verstappen on another lap, I think. See what Ida can do. Just the last sector to negotiate. Looks a little bit deep, getting a little bit close, but does get away with it. Welshburn is back in Discord. Yeah, I've seen it over, but it was like really last minute. So Verstappen running to the line. Looks as though he's running out of energy, but will improve. 1 minute 13.2 goes up to P4. Hyder did take the quickest time, 1:12.004. So McLaren on a front row lockout at the minute. Feels weird that we're not going to see a Red Bull on the front row after recent weeks. Obviously Marshall not here and Just Run crashing out. Kane Prime moves up to P6, 114.3. That's a decent effort. Viper 119.7. So Viper does improve, doesn't move up. Who's on a lap? Zodak just starting one? Yeah, Zodak's just started a lap. HKM's on a lap. It's hard to keep track of cars around normal tracks, never mind Monaco where everyone's on top of each other. So HKM does improve, doesn't move up any, stays 8th but improves to a 115.0. Kelly on an outlap just about to start, so I'll come back to him in a moment. We've got... Oh, headband's out. He's done exactly the same as just run. We've got a car. Anyone coming into chicane needs to be careful. Zodak's going to come across him in a second. He's kind of out of the way. He's not on the racing line. He's right in the middle of the chicane. I think everybody else should be okay now. I'm expecting it to despawn before anyone else gets there. HKM's the next in line. It's still there though. Oh, now it's disappeared. So Cayley's got lucky. It's gonna be gone for him. I haven't noticed anyone move up at all during all that. I think most people got compromised a little bit. So Cayley's got through sector 1 and 2, no invalidations. Doesn't look like he's got any wing missing either, so it must have been a fairly clean lap. To the last corner to get through. See where he can end up in his Williams. Obviously lone Williams today, no Camu. So Cayley goes P9, 115.6. Only DXT Matty yet to set a lap. I don't even think he's been out yet. Kane on an invalidated lap. Zodak pushing at the moment. Oh, Zodak a little bit deep. And just behind to pits anyway. Viper's still pushing. I think Viper's just trying to get some experience in here, running around on the mediums. Not a bad call around Monaco, to be fair. You want to be comfortable with your car around here, as much as you can be anyway. So most are back in the pits now. I think Hyder's the only one that's about to start a lap. The rest will be gearing up to have one last run at the end, I think. Oh, dear me, excuse me. Yawning. If there were ever a track to make me yawn, it was going to be Monaco, wasn't it? Let's keep an eye on Hyder then, shall we? See if we can extend that lead. His closest competitor and his teammate is, of course, out. Matty's left. Not sure why. See if I get a message about that. Cayley has had enough. Not sure if he's saving a set of tyres. So Hyder did show purple through sector 1 again. This game is so unreliable with its colours that I don't know if that's true or not. Heroic since turn 1 on my teammate. Well, if you're going to do it on someone, mate, they always say if you're going to crash, make sure it's your teammate. So Hyder, ooh, a little bit of contact. Don't think there's any damage, just wheel to Armco. Looks like it could be an improvement. So Hyder runs to the line. It's a 1:11.7. Really nice effort. Hyder looking very comfortable around here, getting back some form we saw earlier in the season. Obviously needs some wins now to try and pull back on this lead that Webstappen's got over him. Kane currently on a lap, I think, or he might be. I know he's setting up to go on a lap. Any Arsenal fans? I mean, I don't know for certain, but I would guess Zodak's an Arsenal fan, considering it's AFC. Hyder doing his absolute best torpedo impression. Losing 2-0 Southampton. Oh dear. Nobody. Oh no, Kane was on that, wasn't he? Hyder has gone back to the pits and retired, so Hyder's done. Won't be going again. Kane Prime currently 2/10 up after 6-2, so could be on to get a place here over just run. Let's see what he can do in this final sector. So Kane comes across. It's a 137, so does indeed move up to P6. 100ths of a second behind Zodak, so it's tight between those two. Fake Jesus shown as being just under 2/10 up through sector 1, so could he steal a front row position here? So Fake Jesus, oh, I got away with cutting a lot of curb there. Under sector 2, nearly 4/10 up now, so Fake Jesus could well be on to spoil McLaren's party in qualifying here. I'm watching it. I'm watching the times. It's going to be 112.1. Really good lap from Fake Jesus. 8/10 he's knocked off. Comfortably moves up into P2. Viper. Is he going to improve? Doesn't quite improve. Pretty much matches what he's done. Zodak run to line on an invalidated lap, so we'll have to go again. Verstappen 7/10 up apparently. I'll see if that's true. So Verstappen coming to line could again be on for a P3 here. Does move up to P3, all but matches Fake Jesus 6/1000ths of a second between P2 and P3. That's crazy. Fake Jesus will be done, I think. Not going to see another lap. Kane looks as though he's pushing. 1/2 down. Needs to find... Oh, actually he's on an invalidated lap, so he'll not be finding anything. Viper 3/10 up apparently. I know, 3/10 down. This game is terrible. Pain. It's not gone well, that Hepburn, has it? I thought you were comfortably second for a while there, but... So Zodak running to the line. Can he improve? Is low on energy, but does improve. 130 and 0. Can't break into that top 4 though, so Zodak will start in P5. I don't think anyone's going to improve now. Only Verstappen left. And boxers. Evening, James. Oh. We're so close to the wall. They only killed my tyre, not even the wing. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Was your front wing still on then? So I'll play the waiting game now. While this is happening, I think I'm going to grab myself a quick drink. Oh wait, oh, never mind, it's gone and ended right as I say that. Why did I put it on the top shelf? Well, I'll read through these anyway, even though you can't really see me anymore. So Hyder does take P1 pretty, as far as a lap lead goes. I mean, Monaco's a very short lap, so almost 4/10 is very handy to have over everyone else. Fake Jesus joins him on the front row. Verstappen almost matching him in P3. Hepburn obviously crashing out and starting P4. Zodak P5. Kane Prime P6. Just running P7 alongside HKM MTY LMZ 4611, the catchy name in P8. Kaylee and Viper starting 9th and 10th, and then Matty and Scarito failing to set a time on the back row. There we go. Oh, I've got myself a drink anyway. The important bit's done. Army race done, most set of trappers open. If you P4, that's a decent effort, that, mate. So what lap does Hepburn fuck it into a wall? Well, actually, mate, I'm thinking that Hepburn's going to bin it into a wall and then you're going to bin it into him. So you'll both actually go out at the same time. Formation. I honestly do wish it was possible to DNF on the formation lap. I think that would be hilarious. I'd be curious to see what tyre choices people go for around here. I mean, you'd think with the way Monaco is and how often you get crashes that you get a load of safety cars, but doesn't seem to be the case usually around Monaco. Audio is like 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, I changed the resolution of it all just before I started streaming, and I noticed it was out. But to be honest, I was that close to starting that I just could not be bothered to sort it out for today. So I'm gonna have to go through it for next week. But I appreciate you noticing anyway, James. That day is off, so it's as it should be. Top dog streamer over here. Low effort streamer, that's what I admit. Oops. Oops. My bad. Do. I don't even know why that's down actually. I'm not even using that. In fact, let's just have a quick look at the tyres. So we've got Kane, Just Run, Curly and Viper all starting on hard, so they need to just try and stay with the pack and then get some good laps in when the mediums come into pit. Obviously overtaking is very difficult around here. The track position is king. Let me have a quick look at doing my offset on my microphone while everyone's gridding up. I don't know why it has to pause, even though I've not got it in focus. It's so stupid. Is that any better? Is that the right way, James, or the wrong way that I've gone with that? Everybody, ooh, Hyde has missed his spot. That could be a disadvantage down into turn 1. Oh, good camera. Who's going to get better run into turn 1? Is everybody going to survive the first lap? Let's find out. Looks as Hyder and Victory is very equal, but Hyder's going to have the upper hand into turn 1. Looks like a little bit of contact between second and third. Got Zodak and Verstappen going side by side up the hill. Zodak does come off better in that one, moves up to P4. Everybody surviving so far. I'll just make sure. I don't know what happened to Matty. Not sure. Don't know why Matty wasn't here, but anyway, his car's not going to get in the way. Hepburn looking very impatient behind Fake Jesus, wanting to get by. You can see Ida disappearing. Hepburn is absolutely all over the back of that Mercedes while he watches his teammate drive off into the distance already. Oh, Fake Jesus has got damage. So Fake Jesus is in already, the first one to pit. Hyder's got like nearly a 4-second gap at the front already. We've got Kane Prime in as well, so that's more damage, I'm assuming. Yep, front wings for both. So now Hepburn's going to try and run, see if he can catch up with Hyder. Although Hyder did show very good pace in qualifying. Zodak following in close company along with Verstappen. Then we've got a bit of a gap back to Just Run. Just Run not seeming as... actually he's on the hard tyres. That's why he's not seeming as comfortable. That's me being silly. So Just Run really, he's just going to want to get his head down, get some consistent laps in here. He's got no real pressure from behind. HKM is over a second back. He's got a nice bit of track in front. He's just got to do his own thing. Verstappen looking to have a little look at Zodak. Got a better run through the chicane on that occasion, but nothing doing. Looks as though Hyder's still pulling away actually. So Hyder's got a lot of pace around it. Oh, Hepburn's got damage. He's missing an end plate. That's not going to be helpful at all. And it's not going to be helpful for those behind either. Because the pace they're running is not going to be particularly competitive. Got Scarito and Viper. Scarito going, having a look at the outside, but nothing doing. Oh, having said that, does get through on the run up the hill. So Scarito moves up to P8. Viper drops to P9. The battle for second, still very close. Just Run actually coming back into it now. I think Hepburn's struggling a lot with this wing damage. I think if he wants to battle for this win, he needs to pit sooner rather than later. Otherwise, he's keeping the battle for second alive because he's holding everyone up, but he's resigned himself to that being his best chance of a finish. Scarito now catching up to the back of Curly. We've got a yellow flag. What's that for? Hepburn's in the box. Has he hit the wall again? Yeah, he's lost all his wing. So Hepburn's lost all of his wing in that. Switches to softs of all things. So I'm guessing I'm not sure. This missed have to be soft odds. I'm not sure if soft mediums will go from here. So after all that, Hyder's got a lead of 9.2, 9.3 seconds, which after 3 laps is huge. So Just Run also looking very handy on those hards. Sat in a very good position. Obviously further back from the lead than he'd want to be, but looking good for later on in this race. Scarito and Kelly are the only other two that are somewhat close together. I get the feeling I'm going to be watching the same cars quite a lot this race because I can see this spreading out. But anyway, we'll see what we can do with it. Got a yellow flag. Who's been in the wall? Somebody's been in the wall. Is that Verstappen that's been in the wall? He's dropped right back from Zodak. I can't see any damage on his car. So I'm not entirely sure what's happened with that one. Wonder if he's run deep or maybe Just Run's had a look at him or something. Not sure. Sure I'll find out afterwards. HKM is now coming back at these guys after that. So P2 down to P5, not that far apart. Zodak is now nearly 12 seconds off Hyder. Hyder's looking ridiculously comfortable. Kelly has been passed by Screeto, actually. I was looking back to see where he was, and he was in front. That's why I couldn't see him. Everybody else is now spread out. So now it gets to the point where I've got to try and think of interesting things to say. And I probably should have looked up some Monaco facts. Although Websteppen is coming back at Zerdek. Almost becomes a game of chess, this race. Like, if you're going to make a move, you have to set it up for like 4 or 5 laps and try and figure out where you're going to do it. Or you have to try and play a pit strategy of an undercut or an overcut or whatever you think you can do. I think Zerdek is running quite low on energy though. He is. Zerdek's really low on energy, down below 20%. As opposed to Websteppen's 75. Just Run's actually got a full battery, so looking very comfortable. 100% sat in his tank. Oh, Zodek looking a little bit deep, but it's just so difficult to get a run out of that chicane. It's so tight and so... Oh, this could be an interesting move. No, backs out of it. These three are now very close together again. You just got to be so careful. If you do commit to a move, you've got to be inch perfect or you're putting both of you in a wall. Zodek looks as though he's struggling to keep these guys behind though now. Keeps running deep. As a result, Ida is almost 17 seconds in front now. It's not going to be long before he's got a pit stop advantage actually. Oh, Verstappen's deep into one, taps the wall and Just Run's going to go through. I'm trying to think see if Zodek's got any damage. It seems to be struggling for turning and understeer, but I can't see any front wing damage. So Just Run going to be the next one to try and make a move. HKM picks up a penalty, so HKM and Kane both with penalties at the moment. Just over a second separating second, third and fourth at the moment. These three very close to matched. Oh, we've got his first retirement. Kane is out. HKM's also gone straight on at turn 1. 2 incidents going on at exactly the same time on different corners. No safety car as predicted. I think everybody should be okay with Kane's car. Hopefully it'll have gone by the time Hyder gets there. I can't actually see where it is because it won't... Oh, Hyder's got damage. Hyder's got half his wing missing. Oh, yeah, car's right on the racing line. Kane's car has now disappeared, so everybody else should be safe. Hyder carrying wing damage. I'm guessing that's happened that lap, because I haven't noticed it before now. Yeah, and does indeed box now, so we'll see where Hyder comes out. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere around 5th place, maybe? Somewhere around Scarita. Zodak's got no wing. So Zodak's going to have to box. Just Run will inherit the lead through this. Zodak's gone straight on. Zodak's in the wall. He's got Killing his inside as he wants to pit. They do manage to avoid each other just. Hyder's going to come out in P4 just behind Scarito. Just Run fucking sent him with the... Oh, right, okay. I was too busy watching Kane and HKM crash, mate. Missed it, I'm afraid. Got a yellow flag again. That's a McLaren. Hyder's round again. So Hyder's had another incident. So after looking immensely comfortable for the first, 8 laps? Or 7 laps, has now had 2 incidents in 2 laps. No damage from what I can see. So, I mean, in theory, he's still in a pretty good position. If those tyres will go to the end, he's still very much in the lead at this point. Built that much of a margin, but it's going to come under fire from Fake Jesus on the much quicker medium tyres. I know he's in again. So it must be more damage. Is it another new front wing? No, no wing. So Hyder boxes again for a set of mediums. I'm not really sure about that. I'm not sure that's the best call. It's got a lot of work to do now. Effectively gave up that free pit stop. I mean, how far off the lead is he going to be? So 34 seconds off just run now. Oh, Viper's out. Viper's in the wall. Looks though, yeah, gone straight on. Hit the wall on the outside. Hyder goes through. Zodak goes through just as it disappears. So we are now down to 9. HKM will take 9th as I speak. So this is when the game of consistency begins now. Everybody's spread out, well, barring 2nd and 3rd. Scarito actually on a really good run at the minute. Trying to push up to 2nd after starting at the back. Hepburn is in. Another front wing for Hepburn. So gets off, I think he was on softs after his first pit stop. Now goes on to hards. So I'm pretty sure he should be able to get to the end from there. But does need now to get some consistent laps in. Has been struggling for consistency. There's now not much to see at all as far as racing goes. It's just a case of waiting to see who pits or who crashes. Ooh, Scarito's gone past Webstappen down the main straight. So Scarito moves up into P2. Webstappen drops to 3rd. Well, I wonder if Webstappen's carrying a little bit of wing damage. Obviously saw him clip the wall on the exit of turn 1 earlier on. I wonder if that's affecting him a little bit, because definitely doesn't seem to be as quick as he once was. We've got Hyder in again. Another wing for Hyder. McLaren are having an absolute meltdown in this race. So, I mean, this has really not gone the way. I can't believe how quickly Hyder has gone from being almost 20 seconds in the lead to now being nearly a minute off the lead within 5 laps. Verstappen just about staying in DRS of Scarito this time around. I think is going to struggle to hang on to that next lap. So Scarito on the charge. Fake Jesus right on the back of Curly. Oh, I've got hiccups now, for God's sake. Oh dear. this is. I'll be curious to see now where Fake Jesus tries to make a move. I think this is the thing to keep an eye on for now. No one's really close enough to make a move anywhere else, so it's got plenty of battery in hand. If you can get a good exit out of somewhere, I think Curly might be in a bit of danger here. But it is in Curly's best interest to keep him down. Oh, Curly's got wing damage. Oh, he's lost half his wing. There's an end plate missing. So he's going to have to box for that. That's going to cost him too much time, I think. Oh, Webstaffen picks up a penalty. So Fake Jesus gets gifted P4 after all that. Scarito and Just Run pretty much matching each other now. Now I would expect the hards to probably be a touch quicker by now actually than the mediums. I think the mediums are starting to go off. Nothing really to see at the minute. I'll just keep flicking through and see if I see anyone hit a wall. I'm going to keep an eye on Curly actually and see if he does choose to box or not. I think it's... I mean, you don't want to pit if you don't have to, and it probably is a little bit early for those hards, but I think the time loss in downforce is just too much. Hepburn and Hyder trying to make a bit of a recovery from McLaren. Webstappen is now in. New wing, he did indeed have a little bit of damage. So considering he was carrying damage, he's done well there. Curly is in too, so I think Webstappen will actually maintain fourth. Will come out ahead of Zodak. Curly might drop behind Zodak and Hepburn here. Let's have a look. Yep, will indeed. So Curly's going to come out in P7. Going to have HKM coming up behind fast on the cold tyres this lap. Sorry, Curly on the cold tyres it. So HKM's going to be coming up fast. I'm not sure how far the mediums can go around here actually. I don't know if it's a low wear track or what. I can't remember if I've raced around here on this game. Hepburn and Zodak just over a second apart. So these two looking to charge back up to where they started. Ooh, Zodak's gone deep. Allowed that gap to close up some more. Zodak, yeah, Zodak's just going to give that up. Knows Hepburn's quicker at this point. Oh, Zodak picks up a penalty as well, trying not to hit Hepburn. I'll not be happy about that one. Curly does keep HKM just over a second behind. So looks pretty solid in 7th at the minute. Scarito in the pits now. Scheduled pit stop. Mediums to hards. Fake Jesus jumps up into P2. Scarito will come out safely in P3. It's a big old gap. Fake Jesus pitted? Stops. Fake Jesus has pitted. So I think Fake Jesus is actually in a net P1 at the moment. On the mediums, I think. It'd be great if I could have a camera where I can see. I think that I can see yellow on it. Yeah, so Fake Jesus on the yellows. How old are his tyres? So it's they're 15 lap old though. Did he pit right at the start? So he's gonna have to pit again. So yeah, not in a net lead then in that case. It's going to be close between Scarito and Just Run. I mean, if Just Run goes much further, I think Scarito's going to start to close that gap down. And then they're going to be very close. And obviously, track position is really important around here. Scarito does manage to undercut Just Run. He's got a real chance of stealing this win. We are now almost at the halfway point. It feels like it's been a full race distance, I won't lie, but we're almost halfway. If I'm totally honest, I thought we might see more DNFs though, to be honest. I mean, we have lost 3 drivers, but one of them obviously was gone before we started. Only 2 crashes. Curly looks to be closing Zodak down now. So Curly finding some good pace on these mediums. In turn, Zodak has started to pull away. Hepburn started to pull away from Zodak. So we'll keep an eye on Curly. See if he can pull a move off around Monaco. What's the battery level like actually? Curly's actually got a little bit less than Zodak. Zodak's low on fuel though. I think it's very borderline actually. So Zodak might have to save a little bit of fuel for the end. Don't know else low on fuel. Hepburn's showing as being low on fuel as well. Hepburn's very low on fuel. Got a lot of saving to do. Anybody else? No, so just Zodak and Hepburn that have got some fuel saving to do later on. Curly still right up behind Zodak. Now got Hyder approaching these two as well. Obviously had very good pace early on. Hopefully we'll start to find a bit of that again. Fake Jesus now in the box. So technically second stop, but first one that's scheduled. Scarito moves up to P2. 21 seconds the gap between the front two. So I think Just Run may not be safe to Scarito here after his stop. Got a yellow flag. What's that for? I don't know what's that for. Fake Jesus just picked a penalty up for corner cutting. Somehow, how? Picked up a penalty for corner cutting, exiting the pits. I wonder if he's crossed the white line and then cut the first corner. Let's have a look at the penalty, shall we? So 3 seconds for Webster and Fake Jesus, Zodak and HKM. Nothing more at the minute. We've now got a 3-way battle for 6th. Hyder is very much in the party. So leader for the beginning of the race is now looking to try and make 2 positions. Zodak's really struggling. And Hyder's got a lot of battery as well. If an opportunity presents, he's going to have enough charge to pounce on it. I think maybe ride on board with Hyder for now. Tell you what I should do. I should probably turn my game audio on, which I've forgotten to do again. I've just realised. God's sake. Oh, it's been a long week. Jesus. Here comes Hyder. Going to try and get a run down the main straight. Curly goes defensive, but I don't think he's got enough charge. No, Hyder does move past. Hyder up into P7. So I think we may see Curly trying to use Hyder as a little bit of a bulldozer here. If he can force a move past Zodak, it may open up a chance for Curly as well. Oh, Zodak's wide, he's in the wall. I think Hyder's hit him as well. So that could be damage for both parties. We'll see. Hyder's going for it into the chicane, runs deep, cuts it. Not sure he'll get away with that one. I think Zodak may have a case for reporting that. Did completely cut that chicane, never made the corner, but we'll see. Zodak is now in. Needs a new front wing. Will go for a set of mediums. Gonna come out pretty much where he is actually. I think he's far enough ahead of HKM to come out in 8th. Scarito now 18.5 behind Just Run. Just Run's got to be due to pit any time now. Unless he's going to try and go to softs, but I mean, even if you're like 2 seconds a lap faster, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get past. It's going to take a mistake from the car in front. Just Run right behind Zodak. Zodak's going to go a lap down. So we'll have, yeah, in fact HKM's already a lap down. I mean, even if a safety car comes out, it's probably not going to be beneficial for him at this point. Zodak still in front of Just Run, really needs to get out of the way. He's not going to be happy with this. Does now get out of the way after the tunnel. Got Fake Jesus catching up to Verstappen for P3. He's gotten a little bit deep into that hairpin though. Everything's spread out again after his little battle we had earlier. Just Run is now in. So the leader does box. We'll see where he comes out in relation to Scarito. Running down the pit lane. Where's Scarito? Just coming around the final corner. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Now he's done him, so Scarito will take P1. Obviously on the slower tyres, but has actually got probably a few seconds in hand. Curious to see. I mean, just for I'm not. Oh, Hepburn's left. Is that a disconnection? I'm expecting Just Run to catch Scarito. It's whether they can find a way past. That's the key question in this. 15 laps to do so, but it could well take 15 laps knowing Monaco. Battle for P3 is very close. I think both. How old are Verstappen's mediums now? So 9 laps old. I'm not sure whether they'll get to the end or not, to be honest. I mean, how far the hards went? What, 23 laps for Just Run? Another 15. So, yeah, I'm not sure the medium's going to do that. That'd make 24 laps old, 23, 24 laps old. So we may see Verstappen coming again yet. Anybody else that's going to have to... Curly too. Curly's on the same age. think just disconnected. I'll invite you back. I'm just about to see. Oh, you've rejoined it. Okay, never mind. Oh dear. Just run 1.5 off the lead. Evening cons. You're not, I want to say you've missed an exciting race, but I'd be lying. It's not been as chaotic as I thought it might be. So I think we're going to have a battle for P1 and a battle for P3 going in a second. Scarito's just going to have to make the widest Alpine that's ever been made. Actually got a car in front of him. HKM again. Lap car. Like you're about to fall asleep. I feel like it, mate. I'm shattered. Just run now. Half a second back. So game on. Fake Jesus. Gets past Verstappen. Hepburn in no man's land. And P5. Tequila time. Not tequila tonight. Yeah. I still can't bring myself to drink tequila. It's I think it changed some chemistry in my brain that night. Hyder's in for softs. It's going to be a dash to the end then. Try and get some fast laps in. Yellow flag. Is that Scarito? Scarito's in the wall. Ah, Scarito's caught his rear wheel and gone round. So loses the lead. Just runs. Not had to make a pass at all. It'll liven me up. Yeah, maybe. So Scarito's now 9 seconds off the lead. He's going to have Fake Jesus coming at him now as well. Obviously, Fake Jesus and Verstappen both carrying penalties. Got another yellow flag. Hepburn's out. Hepburn's out in the chicane. Curley's coming up to that. He's going to have to be careful. How? What is... Oh, he's ripped his front wheel off again. Exactly the same as qualifying. Hyder will get through. Zodek will also get through. Same place like I wouldn't have finished 3 points. I did think you were quite low on fuel. I think 3.5 laps under were a bit optimistic, mate. So now, only 8 people left in it. So decent points on for anyone who finishes. So we at CPT. I think Verstappen and Curley. Has Curley been in? Okay, no, Curley's not been in. So yeah, I think Verstappen and Curley are definitely going to have to pit again. Red flag and 16-hour delay. another 10 laps in those mediums is going to be murder. And I think the the trouble is, if you get a puncture around here, if you push them too far, there is no runoff. You are going to hit a wall. Verstappen would be safe to pit, to be fair. He's got a huge gap behind, wouldn't lose any positions. Thought even somebody spinning would cut it. Yeah, you'd think so, but I mean, every time I've ever raced here at Burn, safety cars are really rare. I think there's got to be something in the coding of the game that says, like, obviously there's a lot of crashes here, so you don't want a safety car all the time. There never seems to be a safety car at Monaco. It's bizarre, even though it blocks the track. So I think Verstappen might as well pit sooner rather than later, because he might as well make the most of the fresh tyres. I can't see him getting past fake Jesus, because those tyres are just going to get slower. Curly's in a bit more of a tricky position because Hyder's coming at him fast on the softs, and Zodak's in play as well. So Curly's going to drop to 7th if he does pit. Obviously, the two behind are carrying penalties, so if he could get maybe a set of softs on and run to the end and make some time back, he may be able to jump on penalties. Good to know for future. You should have asked before, mate. I'd have told you that if you'd have asked. I'm going to leave the tyres. Oh, I thought I'd seen McLaren. Hyder's round. Hyder's in again. So Curly all of a sudden is safe again. Hyder's on his old hards. He's run out of the tyres now. 16 lap old tyres he's gone back onto. So they're going to be 25 laps old by the end. Oh, Hyder's retired. Is that enough? Hopefully that car parks somewhere nice. There's two coming through. Screet on fake Jesus. Please don't get in the way. It's not gonna. No! That's really bad. Good reactions from Scarito. That could have very easily been a DNF. It's still driving round in the way. Does finally find its way to an escape road after it's driven the whole of Sector 1 in the way. I thought you were making me think it would be safety car central. Down to 7. Just Run looking comfortable out in front after a difficult qualifying, only managing to get one lap in before crashing, but it's definitely come good in the race. I think we've got Curly in. Yeah, Curly's in the pits. Verstappen's also pitted. So let's see what Verstappen can do. We've got a 20-second gap between 3rd and 4th. We've got old hards versus brand new softs. I mean, it's a major task to doing 7 laps. I'm not expecting it to be closed down completely, but I'd like to see just how much you can get that down. I think, barring any mistakes, Just Run is pretty much safe at this point. Curly lets Just Run go. Scarito and Fake Jesus are running around close together, but again, Scarito's just got to stay in touch because Fake Jesus is carrying a penalty. But if they do end up battling, this is going to be a bonus for Verstappen. He's already brought it down by about 1.5 seconds from when I first switched to watch him earlier. Zodak is absolutely in the middle of nowhere. He's 35 seconds behind Verstappen and 11 seconds ahead of Curly. HKM not really had the pace today. Now got a broken front wing again, but in fairness, it's still sitting in P7. It's still going to be quite a few points. Does now box. I would guess this will be a set of softs going on. Hyder saying he got rear wing damage lap 1, turn 1. He did well, if he did, considering the gap he were pulling out for the first 7 or so laps. Just Run did get past Curly, but now I think Curly's got more pace. Now his softs are up to temp. He's absolutely all over the back of Just Run. I mean, he's not obliged to let him go. Fate Jesus still right with Scarito. Verstappen's gap down to 16.9, so we've seen almost 4 seconds come out of that. Zodak. Oh, Zodak's in the box. Zodak with another new wing. Zodak drops to P6. And on 8 lap all tyres that he's coming out on. Again, still in the middle of nowhere. So loses 1 place, but that's all. No danger of dropping down to 7th at this point. Got caught up in that mistake in the back of Fate Jesus, so 2-1 special for McLaren boys. Yeah, it's not been a good day for McLaren, has it, mate? Considering the pace you were both showing in qualifying. Well, until you binned it anyway, but I thought you had a real chance of pulling some decent constructors points back here, but it looks as though Red Bull are going to extend. Never is. There's only one person to blame for that. Spurs tier 2. I won't even say you're Spurs, mate. Spurs have flashes of brilliance occasionally. He's still following Just for long. He's getting DRS. He's having a great time chasing down the leader. He's keeping him nicely away from Zodak. I mean, Zodak, to be fair, is on much older tyres and on harder tyres. Verstappen 15 seconds off the back of Fake Jesus now. Not going to be enough to get close, I don't think. It's going to need Fake Jesus to try and pull a move on Scarito, but I mean, to be fair, he's not that close. He's just about hovering on a second. So I think even if he did manage to get past, he wouldn't be able to run away. And obviously 3-second penalty in play. Look at the interval to the leader. HKM. HKM not a lap down anymore. That's fastest lap. Almost the same actually. I thought HKM was a lap down. Oh, he must be. Yeah, of course he is. Because Curly's a lap down. Yeah, it's me being stupid. It's not accounting for laps down, is it? Zodak's just got out of the way of Verstappen. Fake Jesus are now dropped out of DRS. Uses some battery to get back in within that second. Verstappen 15.8, so I think the advantage of the softs is starting to slow down a touch now. I mean, you will only get four or five really quick laps out of them, and then they'll start to level off a bit. Scarito still, I mean, to be fair, he looked comfortable earlier until he went and spun it. Looks as though he's got the pace to cover off Fake Jesus at the minute. Obviously, does have a penalty in hand as well. Just Run. Gap's actually come down a touch. Medium should still be okay at the minute. I mean, they're not going to be in the prime, but they shouldn't be too bad. Just needs to keep it out of those walls. Gap at 6.6 to Scarito. Verstappen 15 seconds. Curly still He's dropped back a little bit from just run actually, so no DRS anymore. Still running around nicely though. Who's got the fastest lap at the moment? Hyder, but obviously Hyder not finishing, so that point won't be going to anybody at the minute. Verstappen got very close, 300ths off from Verstappen. Try and think if it's worth anyone boxing again. I mean, it might actually. If Verstappen doesn't think he can catch Fake Jesus, if he's got another set of tyres, it might be worth pitting at the end of this lap and going for that extra fastest lap point. I mean, Cayley's 54 seconds off him, so absolutely no danger of losing fourth. I don't think he's going to catch Fake Jesus now. It's going to take a crash, and really, if there's a crash, it's more than likely going to be a DNF. So I think if those softs are available, or even some fresher softs, I think it's worth going for it with low fuel and trying to get that fastest lap point. HKM's just pitted for fresh softs. Might be trying to go for it themselves actually. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, it's HKM getting out of the way. Come out right in the middle of all the traffic. Obviously he's a lap down on almost everyone now. So Scarito's now going to be coming up behind him. Gap is still coming down slowly at the front. So Scarito looking quicker at the moment. HKM doing a good job of staying out of the way. Not the easiest track to do so. Amazingly, with 7 drivers left, 5 of them are all in the same 3 corners at the minute. Verstappen didn't pit, so now won't be pitting because obviously can't do it now. Won't have a chance at a fast lap, so I think the fastest lap will remain with Hyder unless HKM can pull something special out. Just run, gap's 4.9. I wonder if he's picked some minor damage up. Definitely not as quick as he was earlier. And to be fair, if it was another 5 laps or so, I don't think Scarito would be far away, but I think the end of the race will come soon enough. Keep an eye on him for now. Not really much else to watch. I think what's the penalty situation like? I think they're all... Oh, HKM's on 9. Everybody else still on 3. So it's not... I don't think the penalties are actually going to change anything. Everyone's too spread out. 3.9 between first and second now. Just Ron will be so glad that this is the last lap. Scarito was coming. I think in fairness, Scarito will be furious having that spin earlier because it cost him 10 seconds. HKM currently pushing for that fastest lap. Might get caught up behind Fake Jesus though. That's going to hamper him a little bit. Just Run coming through the last sector. He's going to hang on. Gap has got dropped down below 4 seconds. But he's going to get away with it. Just Run putting a great performance. Not a great qualifying, did bin it. But will win Monaco. CPT2. Cayley will finish being a lap down. Scarito takes P2. Cayley takes P5. Fake Jesus will take 3rd. HKM finishes P7. Doesn't manage to pick the fastest lap up. Verstappen will come round and finish in P4. Still a decent result. Obviously good points for his championship. I think we'll actually still extend his lead at the top. And then we just wait for Zodak. Going to be the last one to cross the line. I think he might actually be out of fuel. He is indeed. He's in low fuel mode. So Zodak will finish 6th. Not his greatest race. I think struggled quite a lot in that one. But, you know, still good points. And across the line. To be honest, I almost expected less people to finish. I mean, 7 people finishing sounds pretty terrible, but I mean, when you factor in the fact that 12 started and we're at Monaco on a 50% race, I don't think that's bad. Thank fuck that's over. We'll take P5. Yeah, to be fair to you, Curly, you put in a good consistent drive there. I think that wing damage you picked up on your hard stint just screwed your strategy a little bit, but still good points. Really good points. Just have a little watch of the podium. Just Run picks up another win, putting some really good performances so far since joining. I think Screeto, although disappointed to have spun out of the lead, will be happy with P2 considering they started at the back. And then obviously we've got Fake Jesus taking third, another good result. Bit peed about that wing. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, to be fair, could have been worse. He could have been in a McLaren. I think they've run out of carbon fibre for the rest of the season. So a quick rundown of the results then. Just Run does take the win overall, starting P7, finishes P1. Screeto takes P12, starting P12. Both very good drives, to be fair, come through the field, remain consistent. Fake Jesus takes third. I think if it wasn't for that early pit stop and having to pit twice, could well have been up there for the battle for the lead. Webstepping takes P4, good points for his championship fight. Curly in P5, good result, solid driving. Zodak in P6, not his happiest race. HKM in P7 after 4 stops. Hyder, Hepburn, Viper, Kane Prime and Matty all DNF. Obviously Matty didn't start. So unfortunately there'll be no points for any of those DNFers after they didn't make it to the 90% mark. So that will be the end of Monaco for this season, which I'm sure you're all very glad about. We won't see it again until the new game, so hopefully the new game's a bit nicer to drive and it'll be a bit more of a pleasant experience. GG's again. Well, I appreciate that you actually enjoy the commentary side of it. I know it makes it a bit more, gives you a bit more encouragement when someone's talking about it, but it's not very easy to talk about Monaco for all that length of time without sounding boring. But yeah, I've definitely seen worse Monaco races, so some good driving in there. Unlucky for some. I mean, Screeto drove really well, but just spun right at the wrong moment and cost him the lead, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll have a quick look at where we are next week before I forget. I should probably get this up beforehand. I do this every week. So from Monaco we go to Singapore, another street circuit straight after it. I mean, at least there's a bit more runoff at Singapore. Hopefully we'll have more people on the grid next week and that'll make it more interesting. Yeah, otherwise I hope you all enjoyed it as much as you can around there. Otherwise I'll catch you all next week, unless you want to watch me race later. As always, I'm racing in just over an hour. I think that's Bahrain actually. Yeah, otherwise I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching and commenting. I've been commentating. Yeah, I'll speak to you all next week. See you later.